Hi everyone, Emily Letran here. I'm a speaker, high performance trainer, and general dentist in Southern California, and I'm accepting the challenge from Dr. Glenvaux to share my secret to success. For those of you who don't know me, I actually came to this country back in the late 80s as a refugee from Vietnam. I was one of those boat people, and I have overcome a lot of challenges. So currently I own two multi-specialty group practices in Southern California. I have a foundation. We help veterans and families of disadvantaged background get free basic dentistry once a month during our free dentistry day, our monthly free dentistry day, setting up under a foundation, my foundation. I speak internationally. I do high performance trainer for business owners. Excuse me. For business owners and entrepreneurs, helping them maximize their potential, streamline business, and increase profits so they can win back time from work. I'm also an author, and the best thing I do is being the best mom in the world. I have three beautiful children. The oldest one is 21 years old. She's applying to dental school, so keeping my finger crossed. And then two boys, 17-year-old and 15-year-old. So I believe my secret to success, there are my high performance habits, how I live my life every day to maintain the level of commitment and action that is needed for somebody to be successful. Now, you can say success is making more money, maybe having more businesses, or whatever your definition of success is. For me, being successful is living life the way I want, to the best of my ability. And that's being successful. So if I live my daily life feeling very happy because I have lived up to my potential, that's a successful day. So what do I mean by the habits of a high performer? Well, there are five main habits. The first one is clarity. Clarity is knowing who you are, what you want, and how to get what you want. So a lot of time when I talk to people, and sometimes they're not sure what they want. They may say that they want more money, but more money to do what? They may say they want to have a bigger home, but a bigger home for what? So knowing very clear exactly what you want and not just the immediate thing is very important. And the reason for that is because if you're not really sure, the moment you hit a bump, the moment that you got some challenge, you're going to give up, you're going to walk away because you weren't really sure that's what you want anyway in the first place. So I would advise anybody who want to be successful to first figure out exactly what you want, to have that clarity in your life, that clarity in your goal. The second thing is to maintain high energy. There's a lot of us out there, and I talk to my friends all the time, who are complaining. I have back pain. I'm burnt out. I feel exhausted. I'm not saying that I'm good, but I've been practicing. It's going to be 25 years, 2018, and I don't have back pain. I don't feel burnt out. I'm actually still very much of a goofball, and I think some of that have to do with maintaining my energy. Taking care of myself. Remember, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. And that's not being selfish. That's because if you want to serve more people, you want to take care of more people, you got to be healthy first, and you got to maintain that energy. A lot of time people will tell me, you're like an energy ball. You're still hyper. I'm not hyper, but I maintain that energy, and that has to do a lot of time with self-discipline. What you choose to do and what you choose not to do. Because when you go out there and you're doing everything for other people, then by the time you're supposed to do something for yourself, sometimes you're exhausted, you're tired already. So that's being very intentional. Being productive is another key requirement for success. You can't just be multitasking all the time. That's just not how that works. You need to know what's most important for the day, what's most important for the week, what's most important for the month, and then you focus on those. Everything else you delegate or you put on a later to-do list, because you just can't do multiple things at one time and actually do it well. So being productive has to do with your intention, how you set up your day, how you set up what's most important, and then how you concentrate and focus on that. And by the way, whatever you're setting up and you're thinking that's most important, you need to communicate with your team, because if you're the only one who know that this is most important for you right now, the team are going to keep disrupting you, right? But if you say, no, this is most important, I need to be by myself, I need to be doing this task, then they should leave you alone. It's no different than if you sit down and do a big case, that you should not have your staff member interrupting you. So what we do sometimes is, when we're in the chair treating patient, then that is the rule. But once we step out of that chair, then everything fall apart, because nobody really follow that rule. I'm talking about being very intentional with your time, with your effort. I'm the type of person, I will go all in once I decide which one, what is it that I want to be going after, right? But I can't go all in with everything. Being productive, being courageous. This is something that sometimes people overlook in attaining success. By that I mean being willing to step out of your comfort zone, being willing to deal with difficult situations. Sometimes I would talk to a client and they say, well, I can't talk to the office manager because she'll get upset. Or I can't say that to the specialist because maybe he'll leave. Or I think I need to give the money back to the patient because the patient is threatening me. I had a client where she said the patient has come into the office several times demanding money over whatever the case is. To have the courage to deal with that requires that you know, again, exactly what you want, what's most important to you. Do you want to spend the time fighting with the patient, or do you want to just figure out what's the best way to take care of that, and then just forget it, just step away, because your time and efforts is better used for something else. But you have to have the courage to deal with that, because otherwise you worry, otherwise you drag things on, you procrastinate, you can't deal with it, and that's a mental game. That's a mental game, but that's something that you can develop by how you approach different things with focus, with integrity, with clarity. Then it's a lot easier to have the courage to step up to that task if everything else is in alignment. And having influence is another secret to success. It doesn't mean you're bragging, you're boasting, but it means that you're gonna do certain things to increase your influence. If you're gonna go and volunteer time, make sure that you volunteer at an organization where you're gonna be recognized, in the sense that, think of leverage. If you have two places where you can go volunteer, and let's say they are of, you have the same relationship, if you want a great influence, you may want to go volunteer here. It doesn't mean that you don't care about this. It's just that being very intentional to create influence. There's a reason why within the past year, 12 months or so, I've been on Dr. Howard Fry's podcast. I spoke in London. I spoke in India. I shared stage with my mentor, Sharon Lecter. All of those things are very intentional. I set it up that way to create that influence. It doesn't mean that you have to do that. It's whatever is important to you. For me, it was to establish myself as a speaker. So that's why I did those certain things. If you want to be a leader in your community, as a dentist, well, then do things that create social impact in the community. That's why I create my foundation, and we do monthly free dentistry day in the community. That's one way to really create impact. You give back, you serve, you show appreciation. At the same time, you create a name and an influence for yourself. So that's what I mean by leveraging. You're not doing it because you want a name. You're doing it because you want to serve, but at the same time, if you set it up right, you will create that impact and you will create that name as a community leader. So that's clarity, energy, productivity, courage, and influence. And when everything is aligned, you're very clear in what you want, you set those goals, in alignment with what you want. You maintain your energy so you can do everything to be productive. If you face a difficult situation, you have the courage to deal with it, and you intentionally set on that path where you can create impact and influence. I believe that you can be very successful. It's everybody have their own definition of success. My definition, like I said before, is to live my life to the best of my potential. And if that brings you happiness, then you might want to just pick a couple of things that I have just suggested and start doing that. I think being successful has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with name. It has a lot to do with how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the contribution that you have given to society, to family, to community around you. And a lot of time, I have a question that I ask people on my radio show. 200 years from now, if people talk about you, what do you want them to say? And a lot of people would have to take time to think about it. And I think when you're very clear in what you want in life, how you want to be successful in life, that's how people are going to remember you. And you can answer that question a lot more easily when you know exactly it is what you're after. And then you're going to be very proud that people will remember you for that particular thing. And a lot of time, it's not the title and it's not the money. So set on your course, stay on course, be committed to your success, and I wish you the best of luck. May the floss be with you.